Yeah, 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 Ergo. Hey, 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 look.
And we back with another episode of the Millennium Dungeon. How's everybody doing? I go by the name of Steph. Y'all already know what time it is.
Gee, what time is it, Steph?
It's time for the Millennium Dungeon. Let's get it popping. Welcome back, y'all. It's 2023. I hope y'all had a good little break, but we back at it, being productive as ever. Hope y'all made y'all goals, resolutions, and make shit happen this year. I want to talk to y'all about something. Something I read online. So last Friday, it was a shooting in Virginia at an elementary school, and apparently a 6-year-old shot his teacher. Now the teacher survived, but the little boy's in custody now, and they're trying to wrap their heads around the whole case because this shit is so crazy. Apparently, the little boy brought a gun in his backpack and shot the teacher, and yeah, it's crazy. Other kids had to get under the desk. Other kids from the other classrooms, somebody called for help. They called their parents. They called the cops. Then the cops came in and stormed in the building, and the little boy was just sitting there, just waiting for them. And they arrested the little boy. And it's crazy too, because when I was looking at the article, it was saying how the chief inspector was saying how this was no accident, that the little boy intended to shoot the teacher. So it was interesting because it makes me think. You know, we had an episode last year, well, technically like a few weeks ago, but you get it. That was talking about what are we becoming? And it's like the more see stuff like this, the more it's like episodes like that are essential because like we've all heard like school shootings. We hear about like school shootings when it comes to high school and college. Now we got motherfuckers in elementary school shooting teachers. This little boy is 6 years old. Motherfucker just learning his addition and subtraction. Yeah, he bringing the gun to school and shooting teachers. This is why, and on this podcast, we talk about like how is shit becoming, why we stress about mental health, why we stress about it takes a village, why we stress about just helping each other, or getting the help that you need. Because shit like this, you see like a 6-year-old shooting a teacher, a grown ass person. It's like what 6-year-old thinks like that? And it's sad too because we talk about mental health all the time on this podcast, and this is the first thing I thought about. Like what was going through that little boy's mind where he thought he could bring a gun to school. First of all, where he even got the gun is crazy to me because he probably got it from somewhere one of his parents in the house. But that's another thing. But what was going through his mind where he thought he can bring a gun to school and shoot a teacher and think he can get away with like nothing was going to happen to him? It's crazy to me. And it's like a part of me wants to be like, well, how does school let this happen and stuff like that? Like, how you let a 6-year-old? But at the same time, it's like, how can you get mad at the school? Because how can you really predict something like this from happening? Like who would thought a 6-year-old would bring a gun to school? If that's the case, then we should start having like security for every little thing now. Next thing you know, you're gonna see like SWAT teams and daycares now, just in case a little 4-year-old or 3-year-old decide to rob a motherfucker for his blankie or a pack of Skittles. Like who we don't know anymore. And that's how crazy shit is becoming. It's just like you never know what's going through people's minds, no matter what age now. It's sad. It's sad that we live in times like this. Is like even where our youth are being influenced to think that violence is the answer to everything. When you hear about school shootings, you would just think high school, college, and stuff like that. Because yeah, they're young and naive in high school and college, but at the same time, it's just like they also have a conscience. At 6 years old, your brain is still developing. Like I said before, you worry about coloring, adding, subtracting, reading, and snaps, all that. But it's like one of the first things a 6-year-old thinks about if he has a problem with something is violence. I'm gonna bring a gun to school and shoot my teacher. And I guarantee you, whatever they was mad about at the teacher for, it wasn't that deep. Motherfuckers talking about get in timeout. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring a gun to school. What? This shit is crazy, yo. It's just sad. It's like it's not funny, but at the same time, it's just like They're trying to wrap your head around something like this really happened at an elementary school. It's like no wonder motherfuckers trying to get their kids homeschooled now, because you never know. Now, what if he had a beef with one of the other students or something like that and decided to shoot up the whole class? Who was there to stop him when after they shot the teacher? So, and I also want to relate it back to the root of the whole situation. It was a whole case last week when this happened in Philly, not even Virginia, where a 5-year-old got hold of their dad's gun and accidentally shot them in the leg. And accidentally shot themselves in the leg. A 5-year-old. I guess they was watching the dad on when they was putting up the gun, and then waited till the dad left and decided to grab hold of the gun and just shoot him and play with it. And you know how that works. Accidentally shot themselves in the leg. Now they say that the dad is the person of interest and the dad's on the run. First of all, I don't even know why you have a gun anywhere where a kid can reach it. That's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of gun owners, and they never keep it anywhere close to their kids. So I'm not even gonna say like, oh, you shouldn't have a gun when you have kids. I'm not gonna say that, but I also think you should be even like 10 times more responsible with your gun when you have kids. You know what I'm saying? And to let this shit happen is sad. And like that little boy's gonna be traumatized. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that little boy that happened in Philly, and even that 6-year-old that shot that teacher, like shit is gonna fuck up their minds too, because like now they're gonna be put in the system where it's like, oh yeah, they're gonna remember this for the rest of their lives. The time I shot myself with my dad's gun, and he was on the run, he didn't care enough to come see if I was all right. That 6-year-old that happened in Virginia, he's gonna be traumatized because the fact that damn, I let one bad day get to ruin my life where I shot a teacher and almost killed him, and now people are going to be looking at me like I'm a criminal at 6 years old. It's sad. And it's like stuff like this is why we have to talk more to the older generation. I feel as though when it comes to listening to like what we can do better as a younger generation, because I get it. We got technology now. We got so many resources now, so we think we're the better generation, but that's only to an extent. We're the better generation when we have more resources, when we are attaining more knowledge. But as far as like moral principles and like having a moral compass in general and having just this simple like common sense, nah, we not it. I hate to say it because I'm part of this generation, but it's like we not it, yo. We just really got to do better and like what we glorify too. Because it's like I'm pretty sure a lot of these kids that's out here watching situations like this, like watching like movies or like listening to rap, thinking that they can shoot motherfuckers, they get influenced by that all the time. And I'm not saying that 6-year-old that shot his teacher was thinking that, but how do we know? So I guess the moral of the story and the lesson that we can really learn from this situation, if I had to say it, one, parents got to be more responsible what they leave around their kids. And like it's because it starts from the home, you know what I'm saying? And what they teach their kids. And two, we got to be more careful on like what's going on with our kids' mental health, because at 6 years old, you wouldn't think that a kid is going through depression. You don't think they're going through mental trauma. But that case that happened in Virginia is just a prime example. Is like it starts at an early age, and we got to do better on what we have around our kids and what we expose our kids to. So, with that being said, I go by the name of Steph, and this has been another episode of Millennial Dungeon. Peace.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ergo.